Let's begin with the UFO encounters that are almost impossible to debunk, and slowly work our way toward the ones that push the boundary of belief entirely. Number 5. The Tic Tac UFO. In April 2020, the U.S. government officially released videos captured by Navy pilots showing a smooth, pill-shaped craft zipping across the ocean near San Diego. This was not some blurry floating balloon or a mistaken bird. This object, nicknamed the Tic Tac, was moving with an attitude problem. It went from high velocity to a complete standstill, hovered as if gravity didn't matter, and then shot off again faster than any jet known to man. At one point, it dropped from 80,000 feet to sea level in a single second. To make things worse, the footage quality is atrocious. But don't worry, with my budget gaming PC running at the peak of technological misery, I will now attempt to convert this low-resolution potato into crisp 4K. No need to thank me. I do this for the people. Now, the reason this event remains nearly impossible to debunk is simple. There is no known aircraft that can pull off these stunts. None. No wings, no rotors, no exhaust trails, nothing aerodynamic at all. And the craft emitted zero detectable heat, which throws every known propulsion method out the window. The US government publicly admitted that they have no explanation for what this thing is, how it moves, or who might be driving it. Yet somehow this incident only ranks at number 5. Because after decades of misdirection, cover-ups, and half-truths, it's hard to fully trust any official explanation, or lack of one. It's not my fault we're all suspicious. They made us this way. Number 4. The Washington Flap. In July 1952, something happened over Washington, D.C. that shook the entire country. Radar operators at Washington National Airport and Andrews Air Force Base detected fast-moving objects darting across restricted airspace. Yes, the same restricted airspace that surrounds the White House and Capitol building. These weren't distant blips slowly cruising along. The objects hovered in place, then shot off in random directions, reappearing, disappearing, then materializing somewhere else entirely as if they were playing cosmic peekaboo. Fighter jets were scrambled, because of course they were, but the jets didn't stand a chance. The crafts vanished whenever the pilots approached and reappeared behind them when they passed, as if mocking them. Even stranger, a Coast Guard officer captured a photograph of the strange lights, and to this day, experts have never been able to debunk it. These sightings didn't last a single night. They went on for 4 consecutive nights, seen by thousands of witnesses, covered by newspapers across the nation, and responsible for a massive spike in panic, fear, and public confusion. Eventually, the CIA intervened, stating the lights were merely an illusion caused by temperature inversion. When that didn't calm anyone down, the government pivoted again, claiming the objects weren't hostile. People accepted this explanation, not because it made sense, but because it was the only answer that let them sleep at night. After that, Hollywood capitalized on the story, books, films, documentaries, you name it. Number 3. The Phoenix Light. On March 13, 1997, something appeared in the skies over Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico that changed the lives of nearly 20,000 people. Around 7:30 p.m., residents began reporting a massive V-shaped craft flying low and silently across the sky. It wasn't a plane, it wasn't a formation of jets, it wasn't flares. Witnesses described a gigantic dark structure with 5 to 7 bright circular lights on its underside. Many said it felt like watching an entire floating city drift over their homes. For reference, the largest aircraft on Earth has a wingspan of roughly 85 feet. It was estimated to be 14 times larger. Some witnesses even claimed the craft flew so low that they could have thrown a ball at it, because apparently even during a possible extraterrestrial visitation, people still need to show off their athletic abilities. The craft calmly glided across state lines before vanishing into the night sky around 10 p.m. Pilots, military personnel, even the governor of Arizona later admitted they had never seen anything like it before. Despite a mountain of eyewitness testimonies and overwhelming public attention, the U.S. government never released an official explanation, leaving the Phoenix Lights one of the biggest unsolved UFO cases in modern history. Coming in at number 2, the Belgian UFO wave. A case so unique that it breaks the established pattern of secrecy, threats, and government cover-ups found in almost every other major UFO incident. Unlike Roswell, the Hudson Valley sightings, or Westall, the Belgian government did something unprecedented. They collaborated with citizens, police, researchers, and even the military to understand what was happening. From 1989 to 1990, over 13,500 UFO sightings were reported across Belgium. Thousands were investigated, documented, and released publicly. Their transparency created one of the most thoroughly analyzed waves of UFO activity in history. Among all the sightings, the most famous is the UPenn incident. On November 29, 1989, two police officers patrolling near UPenn spotted a massive triangular craft hovering silently over the countryside. The craft had bright circular lights at each corner and a red pulsating light in the center. The officers followed the object as it drifted slowly over roads, farms and towns. When it reached UPenn, it hovered in place for nearly 45 minutes before moving again, gliding toward a remote lake where it hovered for another hour before slipping beyond the forest and disappearing over the horizon. Back in town, another similar craft appeared, following a nearly identical path, and the sightings didn't stop there. For the next year, hundreds, if not thousands of people reported triangle-shaped crafts performing silent, precise movements no known aircraft could replicate. Eventually the wave slowed. After collecting mountains of data, the Belgian government concluded that these crafts were unlike anything known to exist, and even today, over 3 decades later, they are still waiting for answers. Now we arrive at number 1, the aerial school encounter, the most bizarre, chilling, and compelling close encounter ever documented, precisely because the witnesses were children, 250 of them, and their stories never changed. On September 16, 1994, in Ruwa, Zimbabwe, several teachers were in a meeting, while the children enjoyed morning recess. That's when multiple silver crafts suddenly appeared in the sky, blinking in and out of existence, before descending into a field near the schoolyard. As panic spread among the kids, some ran to get help, while others, curious or fearless, approached the landing site. What they saw terrified them. Sitting in the field was a metallic oval craft, roughly the size of a small bus. Standing beside and on top of it were 2 small gray beings, around 3 feet tall, with thin bodies, large black eyes, and tight-fitting black suits. The creature on top of the craft appeared to be inspecting it, while the one on the ground stared directly at the children. The grounded figure repeatedly approached them, then instantly appeared back where it started, as if time itself was looping, bending, or malfunctioning around it. Then came the telepathic message. Many of the children reported receiving the same warning, that humans were destroying the planet, that technology was causing harm, and that the future depended on our choices. Some described visions of environmental destruction, others felt overwhelming sadness and urgency. Moments later, the beings and the craft vanished without a trace. Meanwhile, the children who had run indoors desperately tried to alert the teachers, only to be dismissed as pranksters. But once all the kids returned, shaking, crying, panicked, it was clear that something extraordinary had occurred. The principal instructed them to draw what they saw, and despite being in different classes and ranging from ages 6 to 12, the drawings were nearly identical. The craft, the beings, the eyes, the clothing, everything matched. Some children were so traumatized that they took weeks off school. A few never returned, and for over 30 years since that day, every one of those children, now adults, still stands by what they saw. Not a single one has ever confessed to lying or exaggerating. To them, the event was real, terrifying, and unforgettable. If only those aliens had chosen a better place to land, maybe somewhere less traumatizing than an elementary school playground, and maybe next time they could deliver their message without calling Earth a planetary garbage fire.